I am taking you on a little bit of a tour today to show you what you need to have in your kitchen on hand at all times. Let's go. I am not telling you that you need to have all of these things on hand, especially if it doesn't work for your family. The only reason I have half of these things is because I grind my own grain. That's not necessary. What you need to have in your kitchen is specific to your own family, but if I can talk you into doing some of these things along the way, that'll be great. Having certain kitchen staples on hand at all times is going to be so beneficial to you as a mother, as a home cook. Saves you money, saves you time, it's so much more convenient. Plus, if the toilet paper scare ever happens again, you'll be safe for a little while. When you get these things on hand, you're not going to be door dashing, you're not going to be going through the drive-thru, you're going to be saving money because you can make a quick meal at home with some of these things. I do not want you to end up being one of those people that last minute, if things go haywire, you end up going to buy 500 pounds of rice and beans because that's what you feel safe on. If your family does not buy rice and beans, if you don't eat rice and beans now, don't stock up on rice and beans. So I am going to show you what I have stocked up, and I'm going to give you some tips on how you can stock up on a budget because we are trying to save money on our grocery bills here. But make sure that you are not comparing what your family should stock up on to what my family stocks up on because we are different cooks. So since we are here, this is a hutch in my kitchen. This is kind of, we're going to call it like one big giant bread box basically. All sorts of grains up here and some baking things that are just easy access for me. I do use a certain recipe to use pancakes and breads and things like that. But I have got red kidney beans, pinto beans, great northern beans, barley. There's probably going to be some of you out there that are smarter than me because I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this. Kamut. K-A-M-U-T. That's how I say it. I don't know if that's correct. All I know is it's a grain. And it's good for you. Lentils, millet, baking soda, and hard red wheat. Now some of those things I just said you may have never even heard of, and that's okay. You don't have to stack up on it. This is going to be for normal people too. Because I realize that the way that I cook is not normal all the time. So that's just what I have like right there ready to go at all times because it's super convenient. But let's go to the pantry. Here it is. Side note, I bought dry erase paint thinking it'd be a great way to keep inventory. Nope, I gotta keep inventory once and it does not come off. So learn from me, don't do that. So here we are in my upstairs pantry where I have easy to grab, obviously things, much easier than running into the basement. We are going to start top to bottom and you're going to hear little footsteps below me because I've got little ones that won't take a nap. So one of the most important things I think anybody should stock up on because you're always using it, and if stuff hits the fan, this is going to be one of the most important things. Salt. I don't know if it needs much more explanation than that. This is 10 pounds right here. I can't remember how much I paid. But one of these lasts me about a year. I will link this down below. I just get this right off of their website or on Amazon. Okay, random other things that I stock up on are wine. And you guys might judge me if you are wine drinkers. This is what I used to cook with. I don't know how to even go about trying to figure out what wine to cook with. So I always just go and grab what I see. So if this is not a good cooking wine, or if you have any tips on a cooking wine, can you tell me exactly what kind to get and put in the comments because I don't know. Okay, and then the rest up there is just appliances and paper plates, that kind of stuff. For when your kids want hot chocolate. So the next shelf is, I don't know if this is really like stock up stuff. I guess some of it is. Things that I would stock up on or slowly stock up on. Things like diced tomatoes, I use a lot of this, tomato sauce, tomato paste, marinara sauce, spaghetti sauce, your favorite kinds, stock up on these. But don't just go to the store right now and say, oh, I'm gonna buy 20 of them because that's ridiculous and unless that's in your budget, go ahead. But if it is not in your budget, what you're gonna do is you're gonna watch for sales, and then when a sale comes, or if you have some extra room in your budget for that week or that month or whenever you go grocery shopping, grab an extra 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 cans, however much fits in your budget, maybe even just one extra can. I'm gonna have to take you off of the stand. Because that guy. Okay, I can see what you can see. And if you're a mom, you might understand. My kids are supposed to be taking initiative and doing more things around the house as just part of like learning to be an adult, like looking around and seeing what needs to be done. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We're gonna see. Thank you. We're gonna see who does it. Now, if you're thinking, that's ridiculous, you don't have enough kids. All right, baby's distracted with a snack. Let's see if we can get this going. Oh, I lied. There are some stock upable things. Canned fish, tuna, salmon. Stock up on those if you eat them. If you want to start eating real foods, if you want to start stocking up on real foods, if you want it to be an ingredient household, this is the shelf to follow. Powdered sugar. I buy a lot of powdered sugar. Now you actually don't need to stock up on powdered sugar. What you can do is you can stock up on regular sugar and use your blender to make powdered sugar. Same exact thing. Speaking of sugar, I just buy, I think it's a 50-pound bag of sugar. I don't even know what it is. Get yourself one of these guys. I can't tip it because it'll spill. That's how I stock up on sugar. You're gonna use it, you might as well buy it cheaper. Popcorn kernels, great snack, great dinner. Raw sunflower seeds for making granola. Well, that's pretty much all I use it for because I only eat the salted sunflower seeds for snacking. I've got a bunch of hazelnuts here. The reason I stock up on hazelnuts though is because we have a bunch of hazelnut, they're not trees, bushes, hazelnut bushes? I don't know. We've got a whole bunch of them, so we have hazelnuts at our disposal. Cornstarch or arrowroot powder, I have both, but I keep the arrowroot powder in my fridge. Peanut butter, always have an excessive amount of peanut butter on hand because it tastes good. I mean, unless you're allergic to peanuts. It tastes good, it's a great fat, healthy. Here's my tip: if you buy real peanut butter, store it upside down so that way when you go to use it, it's easy to stir. Raisins, coconut flakes, more red kidney beans, more lentils. Now, I don't even actually eat lentils the way that they're supposed to be eaten. I use them to grind up when I make breads and pancakes. It's just an extra protein and you can't really taste, or at least maybe we're so used to it, but I don't feel like you can taste much of a difference. I don't use an insane amount, but I use it. Einkorn, wheat seeds, unhulled. When I first started getting into learning about more than just basic grains, I wanted to try einkorn because everybody talked about einkorn and I didn't really know how to buy it. So now I have this. Brown rice, if you don't like brown rice, don't stock up on brown rice, stock up on white rice. If you don't like white rice, don't stock up on rice. Coconut sugar. And honestly, the only reason that I have coconut sugar is because I went through a phase of where I was trying to use less sugar. So I wanted to use natural sugars. Now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, if I want it and it's homemade, I'm gonna use it. And I think it's okay. Wild rice, great addition to soups. Breadcrumbs, obviously you don't need to stock up on breadcrumbs because you can make your own. But for convenience sake, I have a bunch of store-bought breadcrumbs. Now we've got quinoa. I don't use a lot of quinoa, but I have it in case I want it. Black-eyed peas, pumpkin seeds, pecans, granola, almonds, tart cherries, more pecans, more hazelnuts, cashews, more pecans, different kind of peanut butter because my son likes that peanut butter and I like the fancy peanut butter. Over here I've got avocado oil that I actually have donuts written on it because I have used it to fry donuts in, so that's kind of what that's for. Almond flour for when I have to make gluten-free stuff. Bread flour out of. Down here I've got more bulk stuff. So I've got soft white wheat berries. I've got hard white wheat berries. I have a giant thing of oats. And this is where I keep my all-purpose flour and then onions and potatoes in there. Now this is what my real ingredient pantry looks like. Things that I stock up on and keep on my shelves basically at all times. We are gonna go down to the bulk storage area, the canned good area, and show you more extreme stuff. But I'm showing you here, you don't need a lot of space to stock up on things. Now I do have a list of like common normal people kitchen staples that you should have on hand right here. If you are interested in getting this list, I will link it down below and then I can just send it to you and you can print it off. If you want to get started on your own kitchen staple heaviness, you can start following that list, start adding one thing every time you go grocery shopping or whatever works for you. We are down in my basement. I have actually been working on fixing this up because the carpenter is going to be building me custom shelving, but you can kind of see, get an idea. And then I'll show when it's done because I'm super excited. Up here is kind of more bulk stuff. Baking soda, more beans, more grains, more grains. I accidentally bought an insane amount of soy sauce and coconut aminos, not realizing that was the amount I was buying. So don't do that because you won't use it before it goes bad. And then condiments. Condiments are a big one to stock up on. If you use a lot of them, do that. So I've got more beans here. Beans and rice and broth and pickles and lard. If you can stock up on fats, oils, lard, fats, whatever, do that. And then these are all like, well, I guess the rhubarb's not, but the rest of it's meals in jars. And then I've showed this in a different video, but I have an insane amount of green beans, bacon, ground beef, sausage, more tomato stuff. And then over here I've got more grains. So I do realize that the average Joe is not going to have an insane amount of canned goods, but if I can get you there, that would be great. Because let me tell you, after a really long, hard day, it is very nice to be able to run downstairs, grab a jar, throw it in a pot, warm it up for 2 minutes, and know that that soup or whatever I am cooking has been cooked with real ingredients and it is not full of stuff. We won't go down that trail. Big things that I would stock up on personally are salt, fats, oils, but I want you to make a list of what your family eats and what your family likes and what ingredients you use constantly and start from there. Because if you can't go to the grocery store to get whatever it is that you like, it's nice to have it on hand. I didn't show you this because it's actually on my next grocery list thing to stock up on, but baking powder, that's a big one that I use a lot of for a lot of my recipes, making and baking things at home, obviously. Think of things like that when you are, the next time you're making a recipe, if you see you're using baking soda, you're using baking powder, you're using salt, you're using sugar, you're using butter, you're using flour, you're using chocolate chips, all of those things should definitely be on your kitchen staple list of things to stock up on. I'm not telling you to go out and be a huge prepper, but I am saying be a little bit smart because it is nice to have things on hand just on every normal day when you want to make something and have it. Now I really, really hope that this helps you think, sheep need a bottle soon, but I really hope that this helps you kind of think through what things should be added to your list and what things that you should stock up on to keep on hand in your house. I'll go grab one of those sheep. I don't know if you've seen my last video, but we had a very crazy day and we are now, well, not today, but just about 2 weeks ago. And so we have been bottle feeding these lambs and they are doing great. I really didn't think that one of them was going to survive, but she did. Actually, I'll just bring you out there and show you them. One-handed. We're wasting milk everywhere. Normally I do this two-handed. So this is the one that I was very sure was going to be dead. But she's surviving. She's making it. Not with any help from her sister though.